welcome to part 3. We're going to work on a little bit more exercises with the horse. We're going to turn her into the fence like we talked about to see if we can't get her working off of her hind end, working on those hind quarters, because to be a reining competition, they have to be really light and supple. They have to be able to jump back and forth. So okay, Crystal, just circle the outside at a walk, whichever direction you like. You need to be about probably 3 or 4 feet away from the fence. And this is also the beginning exercise to teach your horse how to do a roll back. Always using the fence. You're not going to want to do it right by a post so that she doesn't get your knee in there. Whenever you're ready, just turn her right into the fence. Use both legs almost like a scissor action. No whoa? No whoa. Keep her moving. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Okay, well that one doesn't count. She must have had good dinner. Okay, so we'll come back the other way. And then pick up your inside right there. See, now she was on her back end. Nice. So now we have to teach her that. Anytime you're ready, turn her in again. Yeah, mediocre.
Better on her left foot.
Yep, that's always easier for them. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and on 3 I want you to turn her in. That way you're ready. Okay, ready? And 1, 2, 3. Turn into the fan. Okay, instead of pulling your hand so high, if you have to, I want you to come back to your pocket.
Okay.
And sit a little bit farther back because you did this in the saddle. You tipped forward a bit, which is going to get your balance off as well as the horse's. Okay, remember to use your legs like scissors. You're trying to turn the horse with your legs. Lift your inside rein, and 1, 2, 3. Squeeze, squeeze both legs. Keep her moving. You see how she gets halfway and she's kind of stopping? If you can get your legs on her to try and push her around, picking up that shoulder, she has no choice but to kind of pivot on that back and get the weight over. Okay, don't forget to use your legs. And 1, 2, 3, in. Squeeze legs, forward motion. Keep asking for forward. Okay, since she's being a little bit lazy about it, let's move it up to just a sitting trot. Nothing too quick because we don't want her to knock you off on the fence there. So just put her up to a nice sitting jog. And then ready, 1, 2, 3. Forward squeeze. Yep, keep her there. Slow her down just a little bit. That's good. Put your hands down a little bit, Crystal. Yep. 1, 2, 3, into the fence. Yeah, we're just going to do that a few more times because she's really wanting to get up on that front. We're going to try maybe knocking her off balance a little bit. So I want you to lean a little bit farther back in the saddle, which is going to encourage some of that weight to come back there. 1, 2, 3, inside. Okay, up to a trot again. Slow her down just a bit, that's a bit too quick. 1, 2, 3, inside. Okay, let's take her back to walk. She's just really not quite getting this, so this is obviously a really good exercise for her. She is so used to, it's become a habit for her to work off of her front. She's stepping like this rather than, what we want to see is her trotting down like this. We want to see her putting the weight back on those hinds and almost doing a pivot. Yeah. So you want to see this foot planting, and then you want to see this on the front end. But she's backing up, kind of stopping.
She's trying to move her nose over so she can lift her shoulder, and she can't with the things on.
Yeah, so this is why it's important to be working on the suppling exercises, getting her to give at the pole and getting that chin in. So that's why those training forks are really going to help. So in the next few lessons, instead of training forks, I'm going to recommend probably a German martingale, because then it's self-correcting. The horse basically teaches itself, because this way you're doing all of the work. And if she's really quite not getting it, then you can concentrate on what you're doing correctly rather than trying to correct yourself and the horse. This way you just ask her to do it, and as long as you're in the correct position, the martingale itself, the horse will correct itself. If she makes a mistake, if she comes up too high, it's going to pull her in. So there's just a couple other things that I wanted to mention. Just a couple of tips for success is make sure that you're guiding your horse with your rein and not pulling her around, right? So you don't want to drag him or constantly be pulling. You don't want to steer with constant pressure. So if the horse is doing what you've asked it to do, you want to make it as comfortable as possible for her. If you've asked her to trot and she's done that, don't pull too tight on her hands, anticipating that turn in, which is what you tend to come up and get a little nervous about.
Over the saddle.
Yeah, you lean forward a bit, you move your bum back, whereas you have to kind of look up, get that chin up a little bit, and that'll make a difference too. Again, never let your horse just walk off after mounting. You want him to get up there, stand quietly for a few seconds before engaging your hands. Sit square during your maneuvers. You tend to lean in a little bit when you go to do your circles. So if you're sitting square, basically watch your shoulders. Because if you're doing this, you're dropping the shoulder as you're going in. The horse will tend to do that too. You're shifting your weight, so then so is she. We're going to work on getting your gait transmissions a little bit smoother, like the walk to a trot, trot to the rising trot, and then that into the canter. You have to give your horse his space, let him make the mistake, and then correct it. Don't worry about holding him too tight or the mistakes that he's going to make. Don't anticipate that they're going to break around a corner, that they won't keep their gait. Just let them do it, correct it. Like we did with the backup. She didn't stop where you asked her to, so then you, without using vocal commands, you reprimanded her by saying, get back here, and then whoa again, and then you did it again. So that's what we're going to be doing next time. We'll put the martingale on her, and then we will ask for the transitions. We'll be more suppling exercises, more of the vertical on the face, getting her to break at the pole, getting her to come around a little bit more on the circles. We'll taking the pylons away, so we're getting a smaller circle, and then eventually the smaller circle you can get, you add some speed to it, you add some impulsion to it, and you can work on teaching her how to spin. So that's it for this time. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on part 4.